everybody. Okay, so if you're interested in joining our TV film degree plan, there's a few things you gotta know. First of all, you gotta do some legwork. I know you wanna go straight to Hollywood and become big stars, big cinematographers, actors. I mean, you can do it. But you gotta start somewhere, and that's with the plan here at UTPA. Now, when you look at the plan, it might seem daunting. In fact, it might seem a little scary. You have to work, in an essence, for free. But when it comes down to it, you're gonna get all the experience you need by following the Practicum worksheet. You gotta put in your hours, put in that time, and in return, you're gonna get the experience that you need that's gonna take you where you wanna be in life. You gotta put in the legwork, guys. You have to do it, okay? So make sure you get started as soon as you can, and we're gonna show you some clips on our own faculty, the staff here at UTPA, and see what they have to say about this program. Check it out.
My name is Eric Sanchez, EricSanchez, and I am the technical director here at the University of Texas Pan American.
Okay, cool. Well, the first thing is basically what are skills that students can learn by doing practicum hours here in the scene shop or the technical shop here?
The pretty much carpentry work or anything, learning how to build specifically for theater shows. There's a specific way things are built here. Flats are built a certain way, a certain length, certain width of wood is cut. Learn how to make props too. They're like pretty much just basic carpentry skills. Painting, everything, with theater.
Okay, what are some basic tools that students will learn how to use here, as far as not really advanced, but basic beginner stuff that they can learn while coming into the shop?
The drill guns, those are like the pretty much basic ones they can use. We use that like for every single show, no matter what, drill guns, and that's like the most basic one they can use. I always ask them if they want to use more. I don't want to say dangerous, but they can be dangerous power tools like the table saw, the reciprocating saws, and stuff like that. I always ask them beforehand if they're willing to use it or not. If not, then I'll go ahead and put them onto something else that they're more comfortable with. But drills, yes, that's common.
And so this department is kind of joint theater, television, film. The film students sometimes are kind of iffy about coming to the shop. What are skills that even film students can learn here for their being out there in the field, like saying, hey, you need a job, but we only have this available? What are stuff that they can learn here? Like what the importance of the scene shop, even for a film student?
Lighting as well. The scene shop also has to do with lighting in the theater. And it's almost, I wouldn't say it's the same thing, but it's the same concept. I mean, you do have the 3-point lighting, and the same thing with film. You have 3-point lighting, the spot, the fill, and the background. And it's, if you want to learn more, you want to focus on lighting more, we can have you, work with lighting, setting up lights, rigging them, maintaining light fixtures, learning electricity, voltage, wattage, that you can learn here as well.
Okay. One more. It was. Give some shows that students have credit for saying they've actually been able to be a part of working on it, whether it be build and stuff like that. What are some shows that they do get credit for?
Pretty much all the shows that we do here in the main stage, studio shows, they come in to help, and they get as long as they write their name on the door where we have people that came into the shop. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
they'll get credit for that.
And that can be used for a resume as far as saying you've helped?
Yes, because you can put that on a resume saying that you did this specific show. And, everyone has their favorite shows, and some of them are bigger, some of them require more than others. And, you can use that.
So Jenny Saxton, assistant professor of theater, TV, and film, also the costume designer on staff here, and I manage the costume shop.
Oh, great. So what are some skills that the students learn by coming to the costume shop and earning their practicum hours that they need for class?
Well, the interesting thing about Practicum is that it's a little bit on-the-job training. So as opposed to just learning about something in class or reading about it in a book or looking at a YouTube video, they get real on-the-job training. While it may not necessarily be in their specific area, what it allows them to is to be aware of the language and the process that other shops or mills or areas, studios will be doing. So, so that helps. So even if you're an actor and you understand a little bit about the costume shop, it's going to help you. Or the scene shop or whatnot. And the other thing is, the last time I checked, movies had sets and costumes too. So somebody's going to be doing that. The great thing about theater costuming is that when you do theater costumes, it's very forgiving. So you can make mistakes, you can learn to sew. It's not perfect, but from a distance on stage, it looks great. And that's great training wheels for learning to do film costuming because, the screens are so huge. You've got, like a 30-foot screen or something like that. What's the screen size at your theater?
They range. It depends on the theater.
It depends on the theater. So if it's this huge thing and you've got somebody's, as we're zooming into them, we're going to see every little mistake. So they have to be perfect, right? So if you're learning to sew, theater is more forgiving, and it's a good start. So that's kind of why we do it that way. We do it.
Cool. What are some shows that the students have actually got credit for working on while being here in the department?
Well, we did a summer movie this summer, and so people worked on that. And we had a student designer, student wardrobe mistress, student makeup artists, stitchers, right? And then during the school year, in addition to all the many student film projects that we're doing, they're also working on sewing costumes for plays, designing plays. We worked on Richard III, and we did a lot of costume crafts, so students got to work both learning to sew and doing costume crafts. And then for the next two shows, or the next three shows, those were student designed. So Locked had a small student design component, although it was a very streamlined show. The Mystery of the Shady Palms RV Park, student designed, and Pastorella, student designed as well. So lots of opportunities, which is what really small programs are about. A smaller program where we don't have a lot of graduate students, right? When I was in grad school, undergrads didn't get to do any of it. So you couldn't be... you couldn't come and be a stitcher. It was hard to be an actor. You never got a directing opportunity. So a smaller program like this allows you to get hands-on work. Although there isn't the plethora of classes maybe another program would have, this is very hands-on. And so you get more opportunity than having to wait till you're a senior or a grad student.
Right. So you'd say the opportunity students have here, although yet it'd be a small campus, would be a better resume builder as far as compared to another student, or say they go to UT or USC, where they're simply just watching rather than hands-on.
Right, you get lost in the shuffle, one, because they're so huge, and two, it's very easy to not get opportunities. Here, we know you, we know your interests, and we're also going to make sure you get experience in the areas that we feel like you're talented in, so that you can maybe go to a big school for grad school. So you go small and cheap for undergrad, and then go really big. That's the wonderful thing about this, is it sets you up nicely if your grades are good, and you take advantage of all your opportunities and don't just kind of let time pass and not do anything. If you use your time wisely, you can get into a national grad school here. It's possible. It's it's not unheard of. So.
Right. And I guess one more question would be like, what those opportunities you talk about, like. Do y'all post them here for students? You help them look for searches as far as that? What are some opportunities students have actually gone to, that have helped them, succeed?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, for one thing, I'm trying to be really active in encouraging people to do internships. Although you're not making big bucks, right? Sometimes actors pay to go on an internship. Or they get no money to go on an internship. Technicians usually get paid and housed. But it's a huge investment in your time. You make connections that you'll be using the rest of your life. My first internship, I'm still in contact with some of those people, and I still have gotten jobs, from my connection with some of those people. That was, 91 or 92? So, that's still a huge investment. I didn't make a ton of money, but you know, it's not as maybe as much as a summer job would have. But oh my gosh, it's made me tens of thousands of dollars in my career. It's definitely helped me get into grad school. Right, so there's I try to keep up with Art Search and with offstagejobs.com are the two theater ones, and I've never had to find an acting job or a film job, so I'm not as cognizant of those, but as soon as I see them, I post them. And I also try to keep up with grad school postings. There's a lot of stipends and fellowships and assistantships for theater, TV, or well, theater students. I don't know so much about TV and film, but the theater students, there's definitely paid stipends. There's one at the Wayne State University that's $50,000. That's a 5 and a 0, right? So it's, you know, there's some money out there. People try to support the arts. There's jobs in the arts, especially theater, TV, and film. I mean, the entertainment industry is always going to be a thing. You know, you just have to be willing to work in all of the areas, be comfortable in all of them, which is what we do.
Right.
And everybody knows a little bit about everything. So by the time you leave, you're comfortable slipping in between all those areas, and it makes you more employable.
Right. And the last one would be the fact that it is a joint department rather than any other school.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that the fact that the students not only have to work, let's say the theater majors, but they have to get behind the camera and learn aspects, or even the film students have to come in to the shop, like you said, you know, those stitches and perfects or the other shop. Would you say that gives them like a bigger advantage to be more, how do you say it, employable?
Well, yeah. I mean, really, if you know a little bit about everything, you're going to be well-rounded. Your skill set's going to be bigger, which right then is going to make you more employable. But the thing of it is you have to actually put forth the effort. If you kind of halfway do it, no, it's not going to do any good. In fact, it probably will be detrimental. But if you're really involved, you're great. You know, you're going to be fine, right? If you're really involved, you're going to be set, right? But if you're not, I mean, it's kind of like anything. It's the effort. You can go sit in a class, and you can do the minimum, and you can do the minimum practicum, and you can do the minimum of everything that is asked of you. But that's not, in this incredibly competitive world, going to be enough, right? Like, think about how many people want to be film students. We got almost 200 people in this program. Almost all of them, on some level, want to be an actor, director, or film person. So think about that's one small school in the whole, you know, United States, and people from all over the world want to work in you know, the film industry in the U.S. So think about how competitive you have to be. Yeah, I mean, you really, if you take advantage of the opportunities, I think you'll be fine. But if you don't, you know, I mean, it's like anything though. I mean, not everybody who goes to law school becomes a lawyer, right? Not everybody who goes to med school becomes a doctor. It's like that. I mean, not everybody who goes into this program is going to be what they intend to be. You know, there's some of it's circumstance, some of it's talent, and some of it's effort. So, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that's my soapbox right there. Stay involved.
Sound good?
Well, there you have it, guys. So make sure you follow that plan. I mean, it's made to help you. You're gonna put in those hours, put in that time, and in the end, by the end of the semester, I promise you, you would have learned so much more following that plan than going to go do something else. I mean, this plan, this degree, these hours, these departments are there for you. They're trying to help you, trying to teach you, but you gotta put in your own strength, your own energy, and get it done. So make sure you go through with it. You start something, you finish it. And for all you writers out there, remember, you can't sell it if you don't write it. Peace.